3,000 years ago, in a city of bronze and bone, a man held a turtle shell over a fire, and waited for it to crack. He wasn't cooking. He was asking a question. The king wanted to know if the harvest would come, and the cracks in the shell were the answer, a message from the ancestors. And next to those cracks, the man carved little drawings. A person. A tree. An eye. Those little drawings became the oldest writing system still used on Earth. And they started as stick figures. For most of history, nobody knew these bones existed. The story goes that in 1899, a scholar in Beijing fell ill, and his prescription included an old remedy, dragon bones, ground into powder. But before they were ground, he noticed something on their surface. Marks. Deliberate marks. Writing, older than any Chinese writing anyone had ever seen. Farmers had been digging these bones out of their fields for years and selling them as medicine. The oldest words in China were being crushed and drunk. Under one field near Anyang lay the archive of a forgotten dynasty. 100,000 inscribed bones. Archaeologists call them oracle bones. Turtle shells and ox shoulder blades, carved with questions. Will it rain? Will the war be won? Will the king's toothache go away? Chinese writing wasn't born for trade, or taxes, or the names of kings. It was born for conversations with the dead. And the words themselves were simple drawings. The character for person, a figure, walking. An eye, standing on end. A tree, a trunk with branches. You can read them today, 3,000 years later, without a single lesson. But pictures have a limit. You can draw a horse. You can draw the rain. How do you draw bright? How do you draw rest? How do you draw good? So the scribes started combining. The sun and the moon, side by side, the two brightest things humans knew. Bright. A person leaning against a tree. Rest. A woman with her child. Good. Ideas, built from pictures. And suddenly, the drawings could say anything a voice could say. Then China shattered into warring kingdoms, and the script shattered with it. 7 states. 7 ways of drawing the same word. When the first emperor conquered them all, 22 centuries ago, he standardized the roads, the coins, the measurements, and the writing. From then on, people who couldn't understand a single word of each other's speech could read the same page. The drawings became the thing that held an empire together. Over the centuries, the pictures changed. Scribes wrote with brushes now, not knives, and curves are slow. So the drawing straightened into strokes. The horse lost its mane. The fish lost its scales. And in 1956, thousands of characters were simplified again. Look at a modern character, and the picture is still there, hiding under the strokes, like a fossil. And somewhere along the way, the writing became art. The same character, brushed by a calm hand or a furious one, is a different creature. For centuries, handwriting was read like a face. Emperors were praised for their strokes. Scholars were judged by them. No alphabet ever carried this much of the writer inside it, because no alphabet was ever a drawing first. And here's the part most people never learn. Chinese is not 10,000 random symbols. It's a system. A couple hundred pieces, radicals, combined to build everything else. 3 drops of water on the left. The word has something to do with water. River. Sea. Ocean. A heart underneath? It's about feeling. You can meet a character you've never seen, and guess its family. It's not an alphabet. It's a periodic table of meaning. So how many characters are there? The largest dictionaries list more than 50,000. Nobody alive knows them all. An educated reader carries maybe 8,000. And just 3,500 cover almost everything in a newspaper. Every one of them is learned the same way it was learned 1,000 years ago. Stroke by stroke, in order. Ask anyone who grew up writing them. The order is not a suggestion. Today, more than 1 billion people type Chinese on glass. They type the sound, and the phone offers the drawing. The same character for person that was carved into a turtle shell 3,000 years ago sits inside text messages sent 1 second ago. Egyptian hieroglyphs died. Cuneiform died. The stick figures survived. But there is one thing the characters never carried. Sound. The writing survived 3,000 years precisely because it wasn't chained to pronunciation. Dynasties rose and fell, the sounds shifted completely, and the drawings didn't care. Which means the page can teach your eyes, and tell your mouth almost nothing. Spoken Mandarin lives in tones. And you cannot hear your own. That's why ToneTutor exists. It listens while you speak, and grades every tone you say. Live. 3 free sessions. No sign-up. The link is in the description. 3,000 years ago, someone drew a little person on a piece of bone. It's still walking. Maybe it's time you learn to talk to it.